If you ask any Resident Evil fan about the main characters of the series, almost everyone would bring up Claire Redfield, but it's almost like Capcom themselves doesn't really consider her to be one anymore. And I say almost because they do love to use her in marketing, and she has made appearances in Resident Evil movies. But when you really get down to it, she's been in less numbered entries in the series than Sherry Birkin, Ethan Winters, and yes, even Barry Burton. Hello everyone, today marks the beginning of a new series on this channel called The Elephant, where over the course of the next 4 weeks I will be releasing videos addressing some of the biggest elephants in the room regarding our 4 main Resident Evil characters. Today's subject is Claire Redfield, and we're going to be addressing her simultaneous absence and omnipresence in the series, as well as the sneaky tactics Capcom used to do this, and we'll even be questioning her main character status. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Over the 30-year course of the series, there have been plenty of protagonists who take the lead role in different games, but these 4 are widely considered to be the main characters: Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Leon Kennedy, and Claire Redfield. If you give this list, almost no one would question it at all, but one character definitely stands out here and maybe should be questioned, that being Claire Redfield, because every character here has appeared in a minimum of 3 numbered entries so far, with Jill getting RE1, 3, and 5, Leon getting RE2, 4, 6, and most recently 9, and Chris appearing in every numbered entry except for 0, 3, and 4. And yes, he did appear in Resident Evil 2 and 9, just because Capcom felt the need to slip him in there, which is a topic for another video. But then we have Claire, who has appeared in a grand total of 1 numbered entry, with that being Resident Evil 2, which came out 28 years ago. And this fact alone may not seem very shocking until you realize that several other characters who seem a lot less well known and significant to the series have appeared more than this, with Rebecca Chambers getting RE0 and 1, Barry Burton getting RE1 and 3. Whether you think his ending is canon or not, he still appeared in the game. Ethan Winters getting RE7 and 8, and even Sherry Birkin, who debuted alongside Claire in Resident Evil 2, has now appeared in 3 different numbered entries with RE2, 6, and 9. So if this is the case, why is Claire still considered part of the Big 4 and hasn't been replaced by one of the other names I just mentioned? Well, it's because we've all been tricked. Real quick, before we go any further into the video, if you guys could please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below to help me reach 10,000 subscribers, I would appreciate it immensely. Thank you. Now, let's get back to the video. Look at this picture, or this one, and you'll see Claire grouped in with the other 3 main characters, which is a reoccurring theme in Resident Evil promo, which isn't inherently bad, but once you start to realize how Capcom tries to use her in pretty much any kind of media that isn't the mainline series, with a few examples being Resident Evil Degeneration, Infinite Darkness, Welcome to Raccoon City, Resident Evil Extinction, Afterlife, The Final Chapter, RE-verse, Mercenaries 3D, posters, action figures, and pretty much any kind of RE promo that involves a multitude of characters, it starts to seem a bit odd. And before you leave your comments, yes, I am aware that Code Veronica and Revelations 2 exist, and no, Code Veronica was never intended to be RE3 at any stage in development. It was always intended to be a side project. My point here isn't to say that she's never been in a canon game outside of RE2. I'm just kinda highlighting the patterns I've seen in regards to Capcom and this character. And like I said back in that video I did with Rapid Crafter, it seems like she's the only character in the series that Capcom actually prefers to use in movies rather than video games. But when I looked into it a bit further, it seems more like they'd rather use her in anything except video games. But how has she not fallen by the wayside like so many other characters who have gotten the same amount or even more games than she has? How is she still one of the first characters that comes to mind when you think of Resident Evil, despite most people familiar with the series and most likely half of you watching this video not even being able to name the 3 games that she's in? The answer is actually really simple. Capcom wants you to know who she is. They found a way to successfully have their cake and eat it too by keeping Claire at the forefront of people's minds using remakes, movies, and other media without actually having to continue her story after Revelations 2. By sneakily using her as one of the series' poster children, they've been getting by pretty well for over a decade now. But whether they realize it or not, Claire's relevance has been on a steady decline for a while now. At the time of me making this video, if you search up Claire Redfield lore on YouTube, you'll come across a total of 2 videos, both of which have less than 15,000 views. But typing in the same thing for Jill Valentine will pull up dozens of videos with millions of combined views. Same thing for Chris Redfield. And with Leon Kennedy, some of the individual videos have over 1 million views. In fact, the second most viewed Claire Redfield video on YouTube is literally a video called Where's Claire Been Since RE2? And that's only second to Ink Ribbon's 50 Facts video, which came out almost 6 years ago. But even looking at that series of videos, you'll see his one for Claire has less views than all the other main characters, even including Ada. But at the same time, she's been at the forefront of the series' image so much that most people don't even think about her when asked who should return to the series. Out of the 10 people I asked, I got 0 who said Claire. I got 4 who said Sheva, 4 who said Jill, 1 who said Carlos, and 1 who said Rebecca. So we're currently sitting in a situation where there's no real urgency or demand for Capcom to bring Claire back for another mainline entry, as most fans are content with the frequent appearances she makes every now and again and aren't really feeling the need for her to take the lead role in a new installment the same way they do for someone like Jill, or how they were for Leon before the announcement of Resident Evil 9. So this begs the question, what comes next for Claire Redfield? With little to no fan demand for her return and Capcom's apparent contentment with her current situation, Claire currently sits in limbo as we all wonder what comes next for her. Has her story already been concluded and that's why they're so hesitant to bring her back? Has she fallen into the pit of no return like so many other fan favorite characters have? Will she go on to just be used as a marketing tool like she has for the last decade plus without actually having her story advanced in any way? Well, with all the rumors and leaks of a Resident Evil Code Veronica remake apparently being just over the horizon, it's looking like it might not be too long before Claire takes the center stage in another game. But this wouldn't really solve the problem that I've been talking about in this video, it would just add to it, right? Well, I was thinking that, but I'm not really sure, because if we look back on when the RE4 remake was first released, that was when a lot of people started paying more attention to the fact that it had been over a decade since Leon made a canonical appearance in a video game. Then just a few years later, we saw him take one of the lead roles in Resident Evil 9. But Resident Evil 9 was in development since 2018, and it's extremely likely that they were already planning to use Leon as a main character before development on the 4 remake even began. But regardless, fans started paying a little more attention after the 4 remake released. And while I think it's extremely unlikely that there's currently a canon continuation of Claire's story in development right now, maybe fans will be eager to see more of her after getting a Code Veronica remake. And on top of that, if we look at the end cutscene for Revelations 2, nothing about it seems like an ending to Claire's story in any way. If anything, it seems like they were setting her up to appear in RE6, which didn't end up happening. But regardless of how much Capcom chooses to ignore her for the time being, I think it's only a matter of time until we see her show up again, if for nothing else than just to give her a proper send-off. But I would like to see Capcom stop doing her dirty like they've been for the last 25 years and start treating her like she's as important to the series as the 3 characters they're constantly putting beside her. And give her another fucking numbered game, Capcom. Jesus Christ. Hashtag Claire for RE10. Subscribe.
They been backseat driving me. I had to take the wheel, check the past me. Rhyming, see, I always kept it real. They gon' ask me why I'm here. I just do what I feel. Took the back street.